How did you build 8 companies in a year? So like the big secret of Infinity is welcome back to Not Another Podcast. I've gotten so many good questions over the last couple months. So we're going to dive in. What did the exit teach you that a win never could? I mean, it just taught me to like not rely so much on external validation, good or bad. And when things aren't going well, that's negative external validation. When things are going really well, that's positive external validation. Like neither is correct. Like your own belief is correct as the founder. Do you fundraise or do you stay lean or bootstrap? I like to have investors, and that's how I build. So it really is up to the founder. It's up to the business strategy. It's up to the thing you want to build. The biggest thing I can say to you is like, what's the question founders ask the most that you're so sick of answering? It's probably just like how to get venture funding, because I actually think getting venture funding is like pretty easy. There's a lot of really good resources about doing it. So the best resources out for venture funding is I'm 22 years old and I want to start a company this year. Do it now or go get a job first. If I could go back, I'd probably... Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Not Another Podcast. We're going to do another solo episode today because I've gotten so many good questions over the last couple months, and I just want to dig into the question. So first question, it's actually about my business. So how did you build 8 companies in a year? What's the first thing you set up before anyone writes a line of code? And actually the first thing we do, so like the big secret of Infinity is we write a memo. Us and the founder write a memo together on why we have conviction on the idea. And I think this is such an important step because most investors have 20 to 30 companies. You only as a founder have 1. So it's really key to just understand what is the wedge, what is the flywheel, what is the moat, how do you really want to build that business? This is a great one as well. What's one tool in your stack you pay 10x tomorrow and not blink? I think that tool exists. It's called Anthropic. It is getting more expensive and I'm not blinking because the ROI is crazy there. The next question, what are the first 3 hires for a brand new company? This is really hard to make blanket because I actually think the first couple hires should be complementary of the CEO and the founder. And if you're not technical, it should definitely be a technical person. If you're not sales oriented, it definitely should be a salesperson. And it's also industry specific. Ooh, this is a good little tidbit. What's a free or cheap tool that's quietly carrying your whole week? Granola. Granola is pretty awesome. Whisperflow is also awesome. Recommend both. Ooh, this one's I like. It's on longevity. What's the best investment you've made in your health? Under $100, over $100. Under $100 is gym membership, like go to the gym. Over $100, it's my 8 sleep. It just maximizes my sleep. Oh, this is a good question about my last company. So I sold my last company, Butter, and now I'm building a huge AI services company. What did the exit teach you that a win never could? I mean, it just taught me that to like not rely so much on external validation, good or bad. When things aren't going well, that's negative external validation. When things are going really well, that's positive external validation. Like neither is correct. Like your own belief is correct as the founder. What's a startup belief you held like a religion 5 years ago that you now think is total BS? It's probably the focus and durability of tech moats. Like I religiously built products, found product market fit, built software, thought it was really durable, defensible. And now I just think that tech is not as durable and defensible as it is. So I think you need to rely on things like network effects. You need to iterate with really fast speed, etc. I've got Will Thorndike as an investor. Be honest, capital allocation or growth? What actually keeps you up at night? I mean, I think capital allocation is growth. Will wrote The Outsiders. Infinity is an outsider's bet. And so, for me, I think proper capital allocation is growth. So like if you're funding capital into something that doesn't have good unit economics, the growth isn't going to be there. This one is, when you say the Silicon Valley playbook is toxic, what part of it do you still secretly run? As much as I want to be for flow state and boundaries, I'm still grinding like a ton. Like I probably work the most out of anyone I know. And it's something that I actually like try to work on because I want to create the right boundaries to be a good dad, to be a good husband, to be a good friend. But yeah, like I'm still very much like, I probably do some amount of work every day, which isn't the healthiest thing in the world. Oh, this is about Infinity. Berkshire Hathaway of AI is a big swing. What happens to that story if half of these companies don't make it? I think half of what we're playing is power law, right? Like, so for me, I always want to build successful things, but it's okay if things don't work. It's about finding great people, building profitable businesses, and our end state is to create a really big profitable company. Like that's what you're supposed to create. And at any company, you try things and they fail, and you iterate and try. Ooh, here's some AI. Walk me through one thing you fully handed to AI you'd never take back. I have it give me really good retros off of sales and investor meetings. I think it's really hard to write your own retros, and I think AI does an incredible job of reflecting back to you what kind of like the quote unquote standard opinion would be. So I think that's quite good. This is another one on job replacement. So AI says agents are replacing whole teams. What can't you hand to an agent yet? Be specific. AI isn't replacing whole teams, but I think it's empowering. Like if you're a 10x person and you have really good context switching ability, AIs are supercharging you to do even more and more and more. So like for me, very specifically, I just don't need as many, FP&A type people around as much as I did anymore. I can do a lot of my own, like scheduling. I can do a lot of my own admin stuff. I can also do a ton of my own engineering, like front-end engineering, stuff like that. So that's all stuff that I'm doing, but it's like I have skill sets in those spaces. This one's asking me about my AI bill. Is your AI bill actually cheaper than headcount, or is that a myth? Yeah, 100%. The headcount is super expensive. Like people in New York are really expensive. I don't see the AI bill getting bigger than headcount anytime soon. Like I would have to just like run Fable constantly to be more than my headcount. What's open on my computer screen right now? And do you actually use AI all day? I love this app called Bond. It's an AI chief of staff that's open most of the days. Claude Cowork is open most of the day. And when I'm at home and I'm not recording podcasts, like that's 100% what I'm doing. Someone's asking what AI native means. Like, I think it is somewhat of a derivative of like mobile first, where people adopting and using technology pervasively through their company. And I think the way that looks can be really different for every business. Oh, here's a good question. A founder asks, do you fundraise or do you stay lean or bootstrap? Like I've been a venture founder, so I like to have investors and that's how I build. And so the things I'm trying to build are big multi-billion-dollar companies. And so that requires capital. That all being said, I've built businesses before that didn't require investors. And I think it really is up to the founder. It's up to the business strategy. It's up to the thing you want to build. And that's the biggest thing I can say to you is like, you have to do what's in like your mind's eye and what is in your heart. You can't try to take someone else's playbook and apply it to yourself, because I just don't think that will work. What's the question founders ask the most that you're so sick of answering? It's probably just like how to get venture funding, because I actually think getting venture funding is like pretty easy. There's a lot of really good resources about doing it. And I think there's some great VCs out there, but I get a lot of questions about just like how to get my pre-seed seed stage company funded. So the best resources out for venture funding, I think Y Combinator puts out the best resources. I think you can literally punch into Claude and be like, give me advice. And it'll tell you. You can use Grok because it has Twitter, and you can say, give me advice on this from investors. Then what you do is you essentially start going and talking to other founders who just raised, and then get their advice on your idea and idea on deck. And then ideally people start introducing you to people, but it's all a social networking game. And you have to have a really good, viable company. That's fundraising. I'm 22 years old and I want to start a company this year. Do it now or go get a job first. I think, again, like there's great people that went out and started businesses right away. Like the time is now. And there's people who waited. Like I waited and then I started companies. If I could go back, I probably would have just started companies sooner. I feel like I sort of burned some time working for other people when I shouldn't have worked for other people, and I should have just started my own businesses. That's also like a grass is greener. Like I'm much more experienced because I worked for other people, probably like made a ton of mistakes in their businesses. So I could like learn to be really good in mine. I think that again is just like, it's what your vibe is, and you don't need anyone's permission to start a company, but it just depends on like what you need and what you want to do. And you have like way less family obligations and life obligations at 22. So like take your shot, but it's also really hard. And like I have some founder friends that started companies right and never had a quote unquote job. And I think some of them, like there's definitely experience that they have a different type of experience, right? Someone's asking like how much they should work at their current job before going all in on a company. For me, it's all about radical focus. Like you need to take care of your family and make sure you're financially stable. But if you really believe you're working on something amazing, you need to go all in on it. If you're working at one current job and then working a side jobs, if you do that, like people do it, but just have literally a separate laptop and a separate stuff, like do not commingle at all, because that company that you're working at could claim all the stuff you're working on is their IP because you're an employee of them. So like this is stuff that like you should talk to a lawyer about. You should be really hygienic about it. But like for me, I'm really clean. Like I like to work on one thing at a time. And I think if you're taking investor money, investors want to have you focused on the one thing. That all being said, like if you're creating a really profitable businesses, if you're honest with your employer and your manager and you're like, hey, I'm like doing this side business, but like this is my day job. Like some people are cool with that. I think just like honesty and transparency are the way to go. Here's one about the one person unicorn. So it's like the idea that one person create $1 billion company and they're asking if it's just hustle culture. This is like an aspirational thing, but I haven't seen it happen. I saw a New York Times article about someone that was like an affiliate marketer for Ozempic, sort of, that created a big company, but I still don't think it's a unicorn by like, Sand Hill Road standards. And so I think it will be possible, but I think somewhat improbable, like, because I think people are inherently like working with people. So I think that like, yeah, you might have a unicorn of 5 people, which could fall under that, but we'll see, like, I don't know. There's some really interesting people out there building some cool stuff. So the market tends to surprise me. What's the most hustle culture thing you still do that you genuinely can't quit? Email. Like email at bad times. I'm just like always on. I'm really quick to reply. I like to have an email reply out to like every email in my inbox within a couple hours max. It's usually faster. And my goal is to be the fastest to reply because I think that just sends a signal of pace to my investors and to other people. The toxic side of that is I'm not present at different moments and like I need to be present. So like that's something I've been always working with. If I had to choose those things, like you need to be really present. So like I think being the fastest to respond is an over optimization and a pipe dream. And I don't think that makes you a great operator per se. And so for me, I'm learning a lot more balance and mindfulness around how I want to work. Here's a question. Someone saw my press on my current $24 million fundraise for Infinity Constellation. They're asking me how it went, what's next, and yeah, just like how did that whole raise go? And I'd say that like for me, we got some awesome investors on. Raising a Series A right now is incredibly difficult for folks, and I have a great set of investors and a great team that came together and we got it done, and that's really, really awesome. And I couldn't be more excited. And so we had a ton of momentum to be able to get that done, and now we're getting some really great coverage on it. So for me, it's learning how to build a really big business in the AI space. And the next thing for us is like really going to be, I want us to get to essentially profitability and become really big. So like I'm trying to build the AI Berkshire Hathaway. And so that takes a lot of capital, it takes a lot of time and a lot of patience. We got some great folks. And so if any of you who are watching ever want to be a founder on one of our teams, or you ever want to join one of our teams, like DM me. So that's it for today. But I just really wanted to thank you all for watching. This podcast has been like one of the most fun things I've done. And I love all my viewers, all the subscribers. Make sure to click subscribe and follow us because we have some really cool founders coming out. It's only going to be bigger things this next year and not another podcast land. So thank you.